Our fellow Pinkos and comrades, welcome to Malt Liquor Socialists. I'm your host, Mr. Kiefer, and on this episode, I'm joined by a man who I'm going to be hanging out with on the holiest of American holidays, the blow the shit up in celebration of our independence holiday, Mr. Morgan.
So today probably marks the 13th anniversary of my honeymoon to Las Vegas with my wife. Which I know kind of sounds, passe or whatnot, like, oh, you honeymooned in Vegas. But we actually made a whole trip of the thing. Went to San Diego and whatnot. But during that Las Vegas trip, during that leg of the journey, you know how, there's, weird dudes out there that pass out, those cards and everything on the street?
Yeah.
Okay, so unbeknownst to me, my wife actually turned out to be into that shit.
Okay.
So we collected a ton of these cards. Okay. And what we proceeded to do, no kidding, we turned it into Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
We went back up to the hotel room. We tried to figure out, well, is Tiffany a 5/3? Is Sin an enchantment card? Like, what are we doing here? So that's basically how we spent at least one of the nights during our Las Vegas trip, is we just, turned these porn cards into Magic the Gathering.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
Thank you.
I love it. It's horrible. Well, in case this releases the way we're intending, we're actually trying to do video this episode.
We are.
And not just the video of what we're watching. We're trying to set up video of us. Yeah.
Us.
Yeah. So this is a very Mickey Mouse setup right now.
Okay.
We don't have any.
Look, we don't need to go into the specifics of what we're doing. Okay.
Look, I want to.
We have video.
But I'll stop.
Thank you.
Okay. But anyways, in this week's episode, we are going to cover a portion of a city council meeting from a while back, June 17th.
Oh, we're back to city council. Back to
city council. I don't imagine we're going to do it a lot, but this is something that it popped up on, I think on Facebook. Okay. Somebody mentioned something about it. I'm like, wait, what the fuck, really? I have to see this. Okay.
Well, considering how slow it's been with the city and county stuff, I'm intrigued as to what I'm about to see.
Okay. So, this city council meeting, the city council went over, and I'm butchering this for purposes of I'm terrible at summarizing this.
Okay.
But they went over plans for a low income subsidized rental housing project that was proposed by a nonprofit.
Okay.
Then they voted on whether or not they were going to approve it.
Okay.
So I liked the results, not just for drama purposes. There was some stupid drama, and we're going to go over the drama.
Of course we are.
But I've edited this video down for a couple of reasons. First, the actual video itself, the section that was just this, was well over an hour long unedited.
Holy shit.
And I don't mean 2 hours. I mean, it's an hour and 15 or something. But, that's well over an hour.
Yeah.
I edited it down to about, I think, 38 minutes.
Okay.
And also a lot of what we were going over in that video, the stuff that was there, was pretty fucking redundant. Now, the stuff I have kept still might be redundant.
Okay.
I apologize.
We'll go over it.
But I think some of the stuff here might be a good bit of rage bait for Mr. Morgan.
Fuck.
Exactly. So
great.
Let's get into this.
Okay.
And also, I start having fun with the editing stuff, so we'll have transitions.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Rick?
Thank you, Brad. I want to applaud Alan Wood for going forward and proposing this housing and the layout. I think it's really ideal. But I do have concern about inadequate parking, and I didn't know if there's an opportunity to explore some different ideas that might help provide some additional parking.
Yeah, well, at this stage, the plan that you're seeing behind me has been mostly designed by the engineer, and this is the same plan that the state reviewed and approved for their project. This is what has proceeded with the environmental studies and with the other studies. So it is substantial, completion in terms of the entitlement process. I would say in terms of looking at alternatives for parking, if the alternatives that you're thinking of would have the ability to be worked within, the infrastructure and the lots that you see here. I mean, I'm guessing, I haven't asked them, but that the developer would be open to hearing that. If you're talking about some kind of change to the property boundaries or something like that, that would probably be too far down the road.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. He's a representative,
Right.
I think, for the nonprofit.
Okay.
He is not like, okay, I'm the one who I made this plan from scratch.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff in here that's like, there's variables, there's stuff where it's like, he's not going to have the direct answer.
I gotcha.
And
okay.
by the way, I skipped over at least one much longer question by, I think it was Eric on the city council. Because that's one of the ones where it's like, okay, this question is kind of stupid and redundant. They do end up asking about the parking lot, and the reason why this is not, I forget specifically where this is going to be going. I know it's not downtown. It's in an area where they don't have a lot of dense like apartment complexes, where it's like, oh, one lot with a lot of housing on it.
Okay.
And that's what they're proposing, is like basically an apartment complex for low income or low cost apartments.
Okay.
So parking is one of the things that they're concerned about. So the big concern is that it's on a street that's not like this really big, heavy traffic street. And they're concerned it's going to, like really up the traffic there, slow it down and such. And they're worried that, oh, we're going to have a lot of cars there and people are going to be parking on the street, and it's going to be, And this is stuff that does get addressed at some point, like what they, what they expect is going to happen. But this is not one of those points where it's like, really? Why the fuck are you bringing that up? But there are some of those that come up a little bit later.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't anticipate changing any of the boundaries or property layout, but just looking at possibly angled parking on Arroyo Drive, that would could increase substantially the number of parking spaces. And I think initially, I would say an individual discussion on this with the aspect would be appropriate first before, I would say, disturbing Alan Wood with the idea. So, thank you.
Okay. So that was the first main question. I did break these up with transitions between questions.
Cool.
Okay.
Last questions, Victoria?
Oh, no.
So with regards to parking regulations, we are not held to having no parking regulations after, or we aren't mandated to not put parking in by state mandate or law.
Okay.
Is that
Sure.
correct, Aaron? You mentioned that the parking regulations were reduced for development, but we aren't tied to that, are we?
Yeah, you are.
We are.
So
So
all
our,
new
the job of staff is to make sure that the development meets the code. The current code has less parking restrictions than it did yesterday. because of the
with
state
this certain
statute.
kind of
So you
development.
can't demand that they have more parking.
With just this certain kind of development, or
No,
No, it's
with
all across the
all
board.
developments, or?
Concepts are hard.
Okay, that was my question. Maybe I didn't make it clear. Sorry, thank you. And then the last question is, what's the ongoing financial benefit to the city for this 30-year project?
So by 30 year, if I'm remembering correctly, what they're talking about is this is going to be built and then it's going to be subsidized as low rent for 30 years.
Okay. Yeah.
So again, it's a nonprofit, and after 30 years, I don't know if that means, oh, this now goes and it's no longer subsidized and they can raise the rent. I have no idea what the hell that means afterwards. I just mean up until that 30-year point, it's supposed to be subsidized, so it helps keep the rent manageable.
Okay.
I don't have the numbers. We could certainly do some research for you. Are you asking, is there any property tax benefit? Is that what you're getting at? Yeah. So,
And/or any other?
yeah. Unlike a lot of other states, there is not an automatic full property tax exemption for nonprofits in Oregon. You have to apply for your exemption, and you have to apply for each one, and there's a whole long list of potential exemptions, but you have to go through the process to go through the assessor's office and apply, then the state has to approve those as well. Usually there is still some property tax revenue that's generated off of a project like this. They're typically not going to get a 100% exemption.
So, but that would be the county assessor's office that would determine that, and the state?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
So not our business is the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah.
God.
Rick?
Hey, Rick.
It's my understanding the townhouses would be private, and therefore, would they generate tax income?
Can you field that question, Erica?
Oh yeah. So now Erica, she's there remotely.
Okay.
And at some point, I do think I have it on video. This is not as a gotcha thing. It's just, it was during one of the things that was kind of like, okay, that's good to go over.
Okay.
Her internet cuts out a bit.
Oh.
I don't think it's right here, but
Okay.
it will happen. So when that happens, yeah, it's...
All right.
Yes, so
Thank you.
we are anticipating that this will be structured as a community land trust. So yes, there will be property taxes that the homeowners will pay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I bring up because you're going to have some people later who are going, well, how is this going to bring in revenue for the city if they can get tax exempt status? Yeah.
Wow. Fuck me. All
again,
right.
Special forces.
Yeah.
I have Indra.
Yes, can you elaborate on the support services that go on at the community centers in these developments?
Yeah, absolutely. So we provide resident services to the residents of all of our affordable housing properties. Resident services primarily is working to ensure housing stability for our residents. That often looks like eviction prevention. So they may be working with our residents to help ensure that they have a budget that they can continue to pay their rent with, or that they have access to emergency rental assistance if that is needed. NeighborWorks Umpqua also provides wealth building support and homeownership support.
Okay, was
So,
that,
you know,
or were you
supporting
finished?
people.
Okay.
This is where
Did
it
she
cut out.
get
My
cut off?
apologies.
Oh, okay.
With people, so my Wi-Fi must not be as good as it should be. I'm sorry, can you still hear me?
Yep, just keep
It
going.
happens.
Okay. So we also provide wealth building supports where we're helping to teach people how to manage their finances. We provide matched savings as a skill building opportunity so our residents and our participants can actively engage in some of the financial literacy work that we're educating them on. And the hope is that folks who are living in our affordable housing will build their skills, build their wealth, and eventually be able to get themselves into a homeownership opportunity, whether that's in one of our homeownership units or a market rate homeownership unit.
So, you know, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That seems like some basic, good, common sense bullshit, right?
I think that seems like basic, good, common sense bullshit.
Yeah, no, not bullshit. I mean, I'm just using that for, but no, it's good common sense stuff. This is
Yes.
like, look, you have people who can't afford things like rent or to get their own house.
Yeah.
And so by giving them a place where they can stay, but that's more affordable,
Right.
you're giving them a pathway to build up money, build up their equity.
And as we watch this, this is the kind of shit that makes me nervous, though, because I know the city council.
Yes.
And I know that, just, helping people and not paying, giving them a leg up, maybe pulling them up by their bootstraps. They don't actually like.
No. And
Great.
Look, here's the thing.
Yeah.
The overall vote of this turned out, for spoilers,
Okay.
I think good.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see what the arguments are.
Oh, the argument. So there are 3 people here who are I would consider the stars of this.
Fuck, okay.
We've already seen or are currently seeing one.
Okay.
Indra is one of the stars of this. And around the end of this, she's going to say some stuff where it's like,
oh, God.
motherfucker kind of stuff.
I can't wait. Let's go.
Now, another one is Eric, the one who's right next to Indra, the younger one right next to Indra.
Okay.
And then the last one is Sheriff, the Mayor Sheriff.
Oh, really?
And it's not for why you think, but it's also, it's like, it's not bad, but it's not good.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay, and do you have any other requirements for the apartments besides the income level? Are there any other requirements?
No.
All right, and then lastly, the tax exempt, do you plan to do the paperwork to apply for tax exempt for the apartments?
We do.
And typically, because you manage other communities,
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, why wouldn't, yeah.
They're a nonprofit.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. It's a nonprofit, so obviously you would go for that.
Yeah, and then, look, I'm not against paying taxes.
No.
That's fair. But they're
Right.
a nonprofit.
But they're a nonprofit.
So it makes sense that they're not going to pay, or they're going to try to minimize their paying taxes on this because they're not pulling a profit in from this.
Right.
They need to make the dollar stretch as far as they can.
Uh-huh.
So adore.
Yeah. I see no problem with that.
No.
Eric?
Thank you, Erica, for being online there and
thanks.
answering our questions. The questions that I was asking earlier, I don't know if you had a chance to hear them.
There was some
but
stuff we skipped.
I was asking about the problems that some of the surrounding community perhaps didn't like, such as the parking or the traffic flow or the possible value of their homes going down. What is going to, is there some kind of mitigation to all that you and your company or your, that you would like to, that you have a plan to mitigate all those different things?
Yeah. Certainly our resident services is helpful. Having a full-time on-site property manager is something that's not actually required, but it is an investment that we're making in this property to help ensure that things stay calm and that we are good neighbors. We have a history of having multifamily developments similar to this in neighborhoods that are surrounded by single-family homes, and we have great relationships with most of those homeowners. There's very little disruption caused from our residents, and I would say generally throughout the country, it's very common for neighbors and neighborhoods to feel concerned when an affordable housing development moves in. And the reality is that there's generally very little disruption that happens to the neighborhood, very minimal, if any, impact to property values. And ultimately, they end up being good neighbors that are a benefit for the community. Certainly having a diverse community is a benefit to both sides, both the residents of our property and also for the general neighborhood as well.
So, something else I'm going to point out there that we point out numerous times.
Okay.
And it's not brought up here.
Yeah.
But the idea of what about the concern that, people might have that this is going to bring their property values down? Part of the fucking problem with rent and cost of housing being so fucking high is that housing is a goddamn investment now.
Yep.
And because it's an investment, it has to keep rising, or else it's a failure as investment.
Right.
Housing should not be treated as investment. Housing should be fucking housing.
Should be housing.
So, yeah.
Also, and I'm listening to this, and I obviously, can read between the lines, and I know the history of this town. I think this town right now, as we are, is having a huge identity crisis.
Yeah.
We have people in office, like that city council, who really want this to just be, hey, we're just a small town, we're just living in a small town here. It's a small town.
They want to be a country song.
They want it to be a country song. The problem with that is that it's not. Obviously, we are growing. We have been experiencing growth. It hasn't been a ton of growth, but even 3% of growth every year adds up over time.
Yeah.
So we're not this small town, and we are going to need apartments. We're going to need places where people can live for a year or two, or maybe longer, where they can settle down and they can, lay roots and everything.
Well, and the whole thing of like, we're not a small town. I mean, in context of like large cities, yes, we are. But,
sure.
But also, we're the largest fucking town in our county.
Right. Yes. Yeah. When I moved to Grants Pass, it was like when we first moved here, I was in 5th, 6th grade, maybe.
Say 11, 12 years old.
Yeah. And we lived over on Allen Creek, and we would pass by, hey, the now entering city limits sign.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, the population, according to that sign, was like 17,000.
Are we at 40 yet?
I think we're approaching 50.
Ooh,
because right now, we are about the size that Medford was at that time.
That tracks.
Medford back then was about 50, 60,000.
Yeah.
So, like I said, that 2 to 3% of population growth every year, if you keep that up, you're going to be where we're at now.
Yeah.
And I just have this feeling that these people are trying to, maybe they're not trying to stymie it. I think they're really trying to slow it down. But the problem that I keep going back to is like, look, we are on the I-5 corridor, okay?
Yeah.
We are in between San Francisco and Portland. So without even doing it, we are catering to people that they want to move out of the big city. They don't want to be in the big city, but they want to be somewhere where they can, go to stores and shop and do things.
They want to be on the corridor that's going to have access to goods and services.
Exactly. And so they look at the map and maybe they see Grants Pass, Medford, and they think to themselves, wow, there's a neat little pocket. I want to go explore that. And then maybe they explore it and they decide, you know what? I actually feel like living there. This looks great. We've said it multiple times. We like the nature here.
Yeah.
We like the area. That's why we're kind of here, and other people go to that too. And so we do need these housing developments.
Yeah.
We need them. We need to have low income housing. And the problem is that these dumb fucks, they only see dollar signs attached to everything.
Oh, that will come up.
Great.
That will. So,
oh,
okay.
cool.
Shall we continue?
Yeah, let's continue.
Rick?
Hi, Erica. While state law is basically minimized or basically done away with all parking requirements, do you have any developments that have occurred recently under the new state law and experienced the complications or how you were able to address the parking that was necessary for your development?
I'm not sure when that state law was enacted, so I don't know that I can answer that aspect of the question. But I will say that parking is always a concern with all of our properties. It's very common that the neighbors and the city will be eager to make sure that there is enough parking for the residents so that it's not causing a problem. And fortunately, that has very rarely resulted in a problem for us. Our most recent development in the city of Roseburg was one of those where there was a great concern about the parking, and the neighbors were very concerned that there would be spillover onto the street and all the problems that that would cause. And that has not come to be a reality at all. In fact, there's generally quite a few parking spaces available throughout the day and through the evening. We've done several studies on that project also to ensure that the parking has remained adequate. For this project, we did do quite a bit of studying to fit as much parking as we possibly could in these units. You'll notice that a fairly significant number of the units are efficiency and 1 or 2 bedroom units, and we're anticipating that families will move into this. So it's not likely that all 3 bedroom occupants will have a car, as some of those bedroom occupants will be children. So we do feel that there's perfectly adequate parking for the needs of this development, and we've spent quite a bit of time trying to make sure that we fit as many as we possibly could fit without having to cut back on the number of units.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kept that in there because that's a very good, valid point.
It seems like she's done her homework.
Yes.
They have.
Yeah, go figure.
Go figure.
And what is it? The apartments over by, what is it, M Street, Portola?
Oh, yeah.
That area?
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in that general area, not in those apartments, but I, walk through those areas, and it's like, they don't have an issue with parking.
No.
And it seems like it would be something where if that was to go up today, they'd be bringing up those same issues.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you have like a household with 2 adults, maybe some children.
Yeah.
And first, until those kids even hit the age of 16, there's no way in hell they're going to be driving. They're not going to have a car.
Yeah.
And even when they hit the age of 16, if they're living in those apartments, because, like low income housing and such, they're probably not going to have the money to buy a car. They're still probably going to be taking the school bus or going to get a ride from their fucking friends.
Yeah. Right.
So it's a non-issue.
I don't see what the fucking issue is with parking, because every apartment complex that either I have lived in myself or I have lived next to, there never seems to be an issue with cars spilling out on the street.
No.
There's a couple apartments along Redwood Avenue, and I never see cars out on the street. It looks the same that it has been before those apartments were built, parking-wise.
Yeah.
So I don't know what their fucking angle here is.
So, look, I do understand the idea of concern for it.
Okay.
It's because you get constituents who are concerned. They're going to whine about it. Largely, I'm going to assume out of ignorance.
Okay.
But they'll do that.
Sure.
And I can absolutely see them bringing it up. The fact they're bringing it up so much, I kept this in here because, again, they've already covered it once or twice in the clips we've shown.
Yeah.
I loved her response to it. It was just very basic, straightforward. It's like, yeah, it's never really been a problem because of X, Y, and Z. And that's why I kept that in there. But I don't mind them having these kinds of questions. It's just ask it.
Yeah.
And then also they're asking this one again because it's a different person who's answering.
Okay.
Because before it was the guy who was not there remotely, and it's like she knows some different information. I have some different answers. I get that.
All
but
right.
they still brought this up like a lot more frequently than they needed to. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
I guess that's what's setting me off. It's like, why are we so stuck on the fucking parking issue?
Yeah, it's like, move on.
Yeah, let's go.
Indra.
Yes, so back with the parking, this development in Roseburg, was that before the new rules came on board? And do they have more parking than what's now required? So you have less
Indra
here?
thinks she has a gotcha question.
Again, I'm not
You think she
sure
does?
when the rules came on board, and so I couldn't speak to that.
Okay.
And I think maybe
I think
this
she's
might
already
be a
said that.
question that would be better addressed by our architect partner, Inkbelt.
And that was my next question. So Inkbuilt is your partner, you've been partners on other communities with them? Is that?
This is our first project with Inkbelt. They're very well regarded. We are, how should I say it, friendly with several other organizations that have worked successfully with Inkbelt. NeighborWorks Umpqua is a member of the National NeighborWorks Network, and our closest partner, Dev Northwest in Eugene, just completed a project with Inkbelt, and they were very, very happy with the work that they had with Inkbelt. I'll also say that Inkbelt is a member of Housing Oregon. It's an industry advocacy organization, and members of that organization are vetted before they're allowed to become a member to ensure that they are contributing value to the affordable housing community and doing good quality work.
So basically there's checks and balances to make sure that I'm not saying that nobody could get in that position and be an absolute shyster.
Sure.
But there are checks and balances to make sure that they're not hiring idiots and assholes who are going to scam them.
It sounds like they're on the up and up.
Yeah, it sounds like.
It sounds like.
Okay, and I did do a little research.
Oh, did you?
On Inkbelt, and then you mentioned the farm workers, and they had that in their literature as
I'm sorry. I love how I brought up. I did my research on Inkbelt. Then why the fuck are you asking this question?
Yeah. What are you? God.
Are you fishing for? It's like I knew something that you didn't know.
I did research on Inkbelt, but I refuse to elaborate.
It's
Yeah.
well. You mentioned agriculture, and in their literature, they have Latinx and indigenous peoples. So I'm wondering, is preference given to these groups when you're renting apartments?
So is there preference given
selling
to
townhomes?
minorities for these apartments?
Holy shit.
Asks the white lady.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's back up because I don't think I quite heard. I don't know if I heard that correctly or not. What group of people did she bring up?
Latin and Latinx.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Due to fair housing laws at this time, that is not a
Fair
preference.
housing. Yep. Thank you. Good fucking God.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Look, my concern is that our Latinx and Latin people going to be, and she's not, this is the fun thing.
Yeah.
She's not openly saying my concern is. She's just hinting at it.
Yeah.
So that's
hey, are these possibly brown skinned people going to have first dibs on this project that we are approving? Because let me tell you, my people that vote for me definitely don't like that. Wink, wink.
Yeah, there's the fact that she's bringing it up as a concern.
Yeah.
Says what's not openly being
Right.
said.
It says
and
more
it's
than it's
disturbing.
saying. Yeah.
Eric?
I had a question in terms of citizenship. Is citizenship a requirement for them to be able to
He is
get housing?
he is taking what Indra laid out. He's taking that road she laid out and he is running on it.
He is jamming down that highway.
Yeah. It's
These people going to be Americans as long as they're white?
Yeah.
I don't know that citizenship per se
Yeah.
is a
You have to be a
requirement. You do
legal
have to be a legal resident.
Yeah. Okay.
You cannot be an illegal resident
God, that
or otherwise
answer does scare me a little bit. They're going to jump on that, aren't they?
Well,
Thank you.
Look, it's like they're a nonprofit. They're being funded by the government. Okay,
Sure.
I could.
Okay.
You have to be a legal immigrant or a resident of the United States. Fine. That's
She
fine.
did not say, though, that they had to be a citizen, which I'm sure is going to drive them nuts.
No. Well, no, but they have to be here legally.
They have to be here legally.
Which, again,
Right.
I'm totally fine with.
To you and I,
Yeah.
we know what she's saying. They have to be here legally.
Yeah.
If we were on that city council, we would hear that, and you and I would have the same exact thought. Like, oh yeah, no, of course they have to be here legally. But those fucks, when they hear that, they're like, well, What do you mean they're here legally? Does that mean that they're not citizens?
Well,
see, that's where I go.
Yeah, and they very well might.
Yeah.
I don't think pertaining to the citizens, non-citizens, illegally, illegally, I don't think they dive down that road for much further down in this. I don't recall that I had anything edited in that was talking about that.
Sure.
But again, the fact they bring it up in that manner, because it's not a matter of, if it was first asking, okay, do you have to be a citizen or do you have to be here legally in order to get this housing? And that was it. That would be fine.
Yeah.
But what gets me is that Indra first prompted Latin or Latinx.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with whether or not you're here legally.
Nothing.
Now there's the implication under that.
Yeah.
That it's all
the
about
implication.
That.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're basically saying, yeah, no, people who look different from me. I'm going to assume that, are they going to be getting preference? And then Eric there takes it and runs with this.
Jumps on board.
And he says the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
Is are these people who can you be a non-citizen and get into this? And their response was, well, if you're here legally, yeah. It's like you're a legal non-citizen. You're a resident. You're a God damn my interior thesaurus. When you come over here, asylum seeker, somebody here on asylum who's not a citizen. Yeah, you can get that.
Yeah, because they're here legally.
Yeah.
You have to be a legal resident. But again, I know these people. They're not looking for that answer.
No, not really.
No.
So.
We will move on to public comment. State your name and you have 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, there are only two people, Patrick Rooney and somebody else. Patrick Rooney's the long one. The other one I kept in just because it made me giggle. But Patrick Rooney is, he's Patrick Rooney.
Patrick Rooney, Josephine County. Just a few questions mostly. I think I heard at the beginning that as far as the notice given to the neighbors, it only needed to go 250 feet. Okay, we're talking about a kind of a rural area. That's not really a very long way, to different properties. That's kind of a little strange.
I guess, maybe.
Also, the city, this was supposed to be a park originally, is that right? The city was going to make it into a park. So what changed? I'd like to know why what's the change there? Why was it not made into a park and why is it turning into a housing development?
Okay, so they're going to give a quick response to this. And spoiler, this is not a Q&A session. This is you ask questions or bring up points and then we address them when we're done with this. But part of the reason might be, look, parks are nice.
Sure.
It's good to have parks.
Okay.
I'm not against parks.
I'm not against parks either.
I would like to have more.
Great.
What we do need is housing.
We sure do.
And if we're making parks and we need housing, whoop-de-fucking-do.
Yeah.
Basically, what you're going to have is people bitching and pissing and moaning down the later down the road going, why are all these homeless people in these new parks we made? Well, because you didn't make them fucking housing.
Because you didn't make housing. So there you go.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Okay, I'm going to leave a pregnant pause there.
That pause is very
This is public comment. We're not going to do back and forth. So you're going to give your 2 cents to us, and we'll digest it.
Yes, sir,
Thank
Mayor,
you.
and I hope it's worth at least 2 cents.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
Okay. Also, I'm wondering who benefits then in this case?
Low-income housing
Why this
people?
happened? I think it's a really important
Poor
question.
folks who don't have housing.
I think we'd all agree. I mean, there's definitely a need for the housing.
Yeah.
Of course, we all want to see people get into homes.
Okay.
I'm wondering, because it's mostly rentals, how much are we pushing people towards hopefully home ownership, which I think we all want.
Lower
and
the
I
home
think some of that
prices.
is maybe addressed by the
Oh, wait, you don't want that,
nonprofits working with people. But I think in the end, I guess my final question or point is, I would think we would want to streamline private home construction in the end. And I'm wondering why the city necessarily is having to get into it. Are we putting enough emphasis on perhaps making it easier to build homes so that private investment can kind of handle the job instead of handing it over to the city. So I just want to leave that as an open question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, God.
So basically, what Patrick here is saying is, I don't understand how capitalism works. Because look, these things cost more for a variety of reasons under private contractors, and part of it is regulations. That is an issue. But a lot of those regulations are there for a fucking reason. They're not like, look, I want to make this a lot more expensive and difficult for contractors. I want to have them jack up the prices to build houses. No, a lot of it is, okay, houses used to be made this certain way, but we found out over the decades and study and, just cause and effect that might cause house fires, or that might cause structural collapse. Like, there are fucking issues.
Yes.
And so regulations to help avoid that, to make houses last longer, be stronger, be less hazardous. Well, that's stuff that if you're a contractor, it costs money, time, and effort to follow that shit.
Right. It would cost more money to build single-family homes in that neighborhood than it would to just build this apartment. And the problem is that the neighbors would be just as adamant if a subdivision housing project went in there too.
Oh, especially if it was low income.
Especially if it was low income housing. Yeah. They would be pissed off either way.
It's like, what's this? Within a block of me, there are new houses. Yeah. And those houses that are made by a nonprofit that people can buy, not rent, buy, are now like 150,000 less maybe than what my house is going for on the market. What's that gonna do to my house's market retail value? You'd have people bitching and pissing and moaning about that.
Come on up, Rika, and this will be on the resolution at hand.
So hooray, Patrick. The next one makes me laugh. It's short.
I just wanted to point out that about 60% of Grants Pass are renters. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
So the reason I like that is I don't know if this was her intent. I have no idea what her intent was there. But to me, I hear that, and this is addressing the whole thing of, well, why can't we have more, like purchasing of houses? And it's like, well, let's just point out that over half the people in this city rent. And look, I get it. That's not necessarily to say that owning is bad.
Right.
Maybe the point is that housing costs too much, period, and they have to rent.
Right.
Maybe it's that whether or not housing costs too much, people choose to rent. Or maybe it's that people rent because they're looking to eventually buy a house, but they can't afford it now. And so they rent.
Right.
And I don't necessarily know what the meaning there was. It made me laugh. And it's like, this seems kind of like a slap in the face, the argument that some of these asshats are making.
A little bit, yeah.
Stephanie feels that she has some information to add to the conversation.
I did have an opportunity to review the negotiation agreement that we currently have. We do have an obligation to negotiate in good faith, and there has to be reasons why we don't pursue this, that pursuant to the contract that I'm not going to get into in a public setting. There could potentially be some liability if we do not move forward with a plan that's consistent with what we've been working on for several years now.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Okay.
All right. Further discussion? I got Rob.
I'd like to make a motion. I move to approve the resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement for disposition and development of property with Allenwood Homes LLC and convey 5.7 acres of land for construction of 110 units of rental housing and a community center upon satisfaction of conditions present.
Thank you for that motion. We have a motion to approve with a second from Rick. Any further discussion?
Okay, and there's going to be more discussion.
Okay.
And before this is done, like we're going to cover the votes. And you're going to have some people talk about why they voted the way they talked about. And they're going to bring up why specifically. There's like, they make it's like, yeah, you need to actually give a reason why.
Okay.
I just want to like get into that because we're getting into the
We're getting into the fun part?
Well, we're getting into the fun part. We're about halfway through the video.
God. Oh.
Joel.
So as we deal with our citizens in good faith, housing is one of the legs of solving the unhoused. If you don't have housing, it's pretty hard to solve the unhoused situation. So, and this is just one avenue, and this is just one leg, but to me, it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for him, yeah, we need housing. Hooray.
Yeah. Okay.
Eric?
Yeah, I agree, Joel. But I also have concerns regarding the parking, the amount of housing that's going to be in there. My concern is that perhaps it's too much in one area. There's also the lanes going from 2 lanes to 1 lane, the congestion, the surrounding neighborhoods, the surrounding community, the 250 feet that was I don't know if that was adequate enough to let the rest of the community or neighborhood know exactly what it is that's going to be happening there in their neighborhood or in their surrounding area. So that's my big concern there. So I will be voting no on this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're not to vote yet. He's just announcing what he's going to do.
Indra.
Yes, I have several concerns. I know that Salem and Portland are pushing the high-density mixed use. We're talking about a mixed use at Midland. I just don't think this is the way that the majority of residents in our town want to go. We do need housing, and we need a balanced approach. But this is high density in an area outside, really not even that close to downtown.
Who the fuck cares if it's close to downtown?
Okay, yeah. What are you going to do? Start knocking homes down in the center of town?
Well, not even homes at this point. It'd be main just buildings.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. I feel like all the people, it's like, no, she feels like she would feel like this. And she's projecting that onto her constituents. Now, I'm sure there are many of her constituents who do feel this way.
Right.
But there's a lot who don't.
Well, fuck, man. Like, okay, I understand that, in the traditional sense, people think like, oh, well, you have a city, and in the center of the city, that's, dense. And then as you go out, it becomes less dense, and that's how it just should be. Okay, great. Well, first of all, you can't do that here because we didn't start out that way. And if you want to, you better start knocking some shit down.
Oh, yeah, no, you're talking about business buildings that are going to be knocked down, which is going to be a fuck ton more expensive.
Right. And so we have land that actually, when you think about it, isn't all that far away from the center of town and where everything is. So if you have land out there that's not being used, if someone's selling it, that's where you're going to fucking put your apartment buildings.
Well, in theory, yes.
In theory, yes.
Yeah. So
that I just don't see it as a good deal. I don't think there were concerns from neighbors that weren't addressed. I don't think it went out to enough people either. I think they'll be shocked when it starts happening. Also, we're losing another tax base. So now we have 2 more nonprofits in town. We hear a lot about the nonprofits, and the tax base we lose every time something comes in like that.
Now, keep in mind, she is a hardcore capitalist.
Yes.
And this is a woman who is not big on taxes.
Right.
So the fact that we're losing a tax base, this is not part of her main modus operandi. This is a part of her, I don't like this and I want to bitch and piss and moan about it, but this is a way that lets me do it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I don't have anything to go with.
The whole we're not getting tax revenue is really weird coming from this lane.
Yeah. A little bit nuts.
Yeah.
I don't mind helping people in need, but it seems like that's all we do.
I don't want to pay taxes to Salem.
And we have a need for...
Why are we losing tax revenue?
Affordable housing, not subsidized housing. And I think we need to allow people to own homes.
I like how there's this different... Look, affordable housing doesn't have to be subsidized.
Right.
But subsidized housing doesn't mean non-affordable housing. It's like she's saying, these are two mutually exclusive things. They're not.
Nope. Wow.
And not just rent. The reason we have so many renters is because people can't afford to own homes.
But they can't fucking afford
it.
Yeah.
And so I would rather help people get into buying affordable homes because that's where your assets come from. I mean, that's where you grow your wealth. Is
What
in
the
your
fuck is
home.
your goddamn argument, you motherfucker?
And I think most people have that in their homes. Even the townhomes, the people will never really own.
So okay.
What?
We're seeing conflicting philosophies.
Yes.
Here, all in one go. So people need to be able to buy homes. Because, homes are not affordable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's where you grow your wealth, is your home. And if you grow your wealth in your home, basically, that's what we got into earlier. It's a fucking investment.
Yeah.
But if your home's an investment, when you get to the point where you're going to cash out on it and other people can't afford to buy it, then congrats. Homes aren't fucking affordable.
The thought that I just had that I don't think we've really touched on is how these people are the same people that will also say, well, you need to, you need multiple investments. You just can't invest in one thing. You have to invest in stocks, or you have to, invest in your home. You
diversify.
Diversify your portfolio.
Yeah.
And yet, well, the home is where you grow your wealth. Well, maybe you should fucking diversify, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, that's just making me. It's not making me happy. Your reaction is making me happy.
That was wild.
Oh, don't, sir.
Oh, it gets worse?
At some points, yes. Not in this specific one, but there will be some ups and downs.
Gonna drive me to drinking again.
And then we have nonprofits and state agencies really controlling this piece of land for 30 plus years, it looks like. And so I would rather help people buy less expensive homes. And it's true, what the speaker said up here, Patrick, I think.
I bet she loves flock cameras, though.
Development fees and system development fees and charges and permits. We raise and raise till the cost is so high, and then we give money away, or we give it away to nonprofits. So I think it's a bad road we're going down, and I am not in favor.
Buy less expensive homes so that the value of my home, because there's less, basic economics. If you have a lot of supply and demand stays the same, value goes down. And so if you have more affordable homes, then the value of your home that might be your investment goes down.
Yes.
And so again, conflicting. This is Econ Basic 101. Shit you learn your freshman year in high school.
It's fucking wild.
It's
because
crazy.
The other thing the thought just pops in there. It's like these people, they buy their $300 house.
You mean 300,000?
Wow. Yeah. Sorry. My brain is fucking still.
Happy Friday.
I know, right? Oh yeah, it's Friday. They buy these $300,000 homes, 20 years ago, up in the nice areas of town. And it's like, they really want to get to $1 million.
Yeah.
They want to sell these homes for like fucking millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing is that, well, shit, if all these homes go in, then it's going to lower my home price and I'm not going to get to $1 million. I think there's some greed that is working in here too.
Well, there is. But right now, she's pretending that greed does not exist.
Oh, yeah.
Or that she does not fall into that trap of greed.
Right. Yes.
Because again, the point is not that this is going to actually affect the cost of housing, or that we should have low-cost housing. The point here is that I don't like these rental things, and so I'm looking for means to attack it.
I don't like the pores.
Rick?
When my daughter graduated from college, she moved to Seattle and worked at minimum wage, and she qualified for subsidized housing. she was able to afford to live there, even though she was on minimum wage. But as her jobs changed, they did not require her to move, but required her to contribute additional monies to her rent. And at such point, when she did move, she moved up the chain of housing, because one of the biggest problems is moving into owning a home for
He's in
yourself
support of this, by the way.
is having the money and being able to afford it. So to me, a development like this is a step up for people. It gives them an opportunity to get into the rental, and by having that rental history, they can then move into, through savings, into buying their own home. So I think this development gives them that opportunity, and consequently, I will be voting in favor. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's amazing what life experience can do to people.
I know, especially if it's life experience of your own children.
Right.
So
he saw this firsthand.
Yeah.
He saw his kid move to Seattle, had to get into low-income housing because for whatever reason, she couldn't afford regular rent. She started, she was in college. She got a good job. They asked her to pay more. Great. And then when she moved out, she could afford things. It gave her a leg up. It made her able to stay there and find work.
Sir. They helped her pick herself up by the bootstraps.
Fucking incredible, isn't
it?
And yet I hear the arguments for this, and I'm just like, you guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You live in your own little bubble, and you don't like to hear this shit.
Quite a few of these people have more than one home.
Yeah.
Oh, like own, not
Fuck off.
Kathleen?
Yeah, I'm seeing that there's quite a few variables here that we kind of don't know what's going to come out of the townhouses and how much that is going to benefit our city. And I'm thinking there's too many variables to vote yes on this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Too many variables.
Cop out.
There's so many homeless people in the goddamn street. There's too many fucking variables.
Yeah. Again, cop out.
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah, so tonight, so many different aspects of development were brought up. Developments of this nature were brought up. Nothing new tonight, but the types of things that we hear often. For me, what makes this, what tips the scales of why I'm going to vote yes on this is, while I think some of Eric's concerns were valid, we don't have a single member of the public who's here from that neighborhood that's protesting this or asking for us to vote no. We didn't get a single email from the public asking us to vote no. We've had hearings like this where literally the room is packed with people begging the council to vote no for one reason or another. Tonight, that's not the case. So we can pontificate forever, but the fact is the people in that neighborhood are not telling us to vote no. So to me, had they been here in number, or had they been here, or had they been calling or emailing, I think some of those questions might be more valid. But I'm going to be voting yes because I think that the majority of the benefit, I think this will be more of a benefit than a hindrance, and for that reason, I'll be voting yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, basic stuff.
Okay. Good.
Joel?
Well, I'd just like to say from my own personal experience, when Judy and I were going to college, we didn't have a whole lot of money. We lived in housing such as this, apartments, and it allowed me to complete my education and to become self-sufficient, and it was appreciated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Personal experience. Wow. Yeah. It helped me.
Yeah. Go figure.
Go figure. Fuck.
Victoria?
Oh, God.
I just wanted to quickly ask if the public was notified again. These hearings were like 3 years ago. Is that correct, Bradley?
The Planning Commission hearing was October or September of 2025.
Oh, okay, so it was.
Not
all right,
even
so-
a year ago.
But it was a while ago. But for tonight's meeting, the only notice was, which I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong, but it was just our agenda that was in.
Yeah, Victoria
put
is
on the
very good
website,
at
is
doing
that
this
correct?
passive-aggressive
Oh, yeah.
bullshit.
Yep, that's
It's
correct.
sickening.
Yeah.
All right, so.
I'm not saying you did anything
well,
wrong, but fuck
then
you.
That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, bless your heart.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
A southern fuck you kind of a girl.
Yeah. Jesus.
Indra.
Yes, while it's true that I don't know why people who had concerns aren't here. There are all different kinds of
Because they don't
reasons,
have
but
their fucking
if this
concerns.
doesn't just
Yeah,
affect
weird.
the people who are in
I
that
don't know why the
neighborhood,
people with concerns aren't
anytime
here.
we have subsidized housing,
Because
that
they don't
money
have-
comes
you're-
from
you're
somewhere.
making a mountain
It
out of a
comes from
molehill. That's
everyone in our
Yeah,
community.
you have evidence
And so
right in front of you.
when you give money to someone, you're taking from someone else. And so it doesn't just affect that neighborhood, it
There we go.
affects
Yeah.
everyone.
You have evidence
And
right in front of you.
The reason state taxes
And
are
yet,
going
now,
up so much
I'm
is
not gonna
because
look at
they're
this
giving
evidence.
$37
Nope.
million grants around. That money comes from us. And so there is a broader reach than just this small development.
Eric?
Yeah, Rob, I was wondering if you'd be willing to do a friendly amendment to that motion in terms of essentially holding off on this until we get some more clarity on the public feelings about this, because honestly, we really don't know 100% if the public really wants this.
Sure.
Have you been getting emails?
I'm not
Have you been
willing to
getting phone
table it,
calls?
And I'm not willing to change the
No.
motion. But I
Hell
appreciate
no.
you asking.
Fuck off.
I love that. No, I'm not willing to.
Yeah. God.
I'm looking at this in a totally different manner than you guys are. I'm looking at this as you're going to have 100+ employable bodies, if not even more, going into a rental where we are lacking and we are in desperate need for rentals properties for people. So whether you equate that you have the possibility of not getting a full property tax out of this because they could get a partial property tax exemption, you're still looking at 100+ bodies that you can throw into your employment base, so we could anticipate or entice a manufacturing base, an industrial base, some kind of business to come in here and expand, because we do have the employment base for them. So I'm kind of looking at the whole grand scheme of things, and this project has been going on for 3+ years. We are in a point where you're kind of down the road quite a bit. This is kind of crossing the T's and dotting the I's of getting this development agreement done. The city has, this plan has been approved through planning. This plan has been approved through the UAPC. This plan has been approved through the state. So I'm just leaving that in the sphere of your mindset before you go into a vote. Did you want to add anything?
I just wanted to make sure we were clear on the, if we were to stop this project moving forward, there would potentially be some obligation on the city financially to reimburse their efforts and or continue negotiations up until October in good faith by both parties. And because of the amount of time and effort that both parties have put in, especially them, I'd imagine that that bill would be relatively large in nature. But those are some of the consequences. If this doesn't pass, and it's not a threat, I'm just providing that additional information to you.
It's not
if
a
it
threat.
does not
I'm just
pass,
saying what's
we
going to
have
happen.
the ability to continue to bargain in good faith until October, and or if the project was stopped, then we may have some financial obligation to make them whole.
Yes, so currently you have a motion on the table to authorize the city manager to go into an agreement, development agreement with Allenwood LLC Homes.
Question.
Any further
What Aaron just said?
Yes, and Stephanie, please.
One additional thing, I do know that their funding does have some deadlines in July. That's the reason for that July 1st date, is because they have some obligations to their funders and may have some consequences. So if we're continuing negotiations, it will have to be very, very short turnaround on those.
Okay, and there could be an extension, I think you said earlier, but.
Not
so
for the
if-
funding. The
so-
funding has a deadline of July 1st.
We have no control over what their funders are requiring of them.
Could negotiations
They're literally
include
saying
a
no.
different plan with better parking?
Funding has a deadline.
And maybe more townhomes than apartments, or no?
At this point, they're meeting all of the
No.
code requirements, and there would not be enough
No.
time to turn another plan around through the planning commission within
She's driving
the
that
confines
part.
of
No.
our negotiation agreement.
Let alone if they change the plan, they're going to have to go through back through their funding
Yeah.
stream through the state, and that probably would be detrimental as well. Further discussion before we go into the roll call vote?
Yeah.
No.
No. Good God.
I like that. I don't like where this is going. So is there a way we can delay this? No.
No.
Are you sure? No. Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure? Stop asking. The answer is
Fuck.
no.
You know, this city council, well, and I have to say, like, all the local government around here is really good at pissing off investors
Yeah.
and voting for something and then trying to do a takes backsies. We saw it with the homeless situation on J Street. We're seeing it with this. You know, I mean, it's now, you know, the 3rd of July, so I don't know what has happened since then. But, you know, it's like, well, God, here they fucking go again. It's like, hey, we have something on paper. We've agreed to this. We get up to the point of, okay, we're doing this. And then someone on that fucking council is like, actually, I don't like this. What would be the consequences if we just didn't do it?
To be fair,
Okay.
like the stuff with prior
Yeah.
council,
Uh-huh.
where they passed this stuff, and then as the current council,
Yeah.
they got voted, and it's
Yes.
like, okay, look, I know the prior council did this, but we don't want this, so we're just going to cancel it.
Right.
And now they're doing this take backsies thing, and this is not something necessarily that the city council voted on to approve before. This is something that's already gone through the motions.
Right.
They've had agreements in place,
Uh-huh.
and now they're voting to finish it off.
Yes.
And now they're getting cold feet.
Yep.
So
Great.
Rick?
As you all know, I've been a land use planner for over 50 years, and when you have a developer come into town and propose a development such as this, any developer, if they start encountering difficulty, even if there were no, just putting aside any financial ramifications, they're going to walk away from that development. And if we as a city want to be healthy, we have to have housing. If we as a city want to be healthy, we have to have employment.
Yes.
We have to have businesses. And if
Yes.
this gets out that we are not
Don't
supportive
understand how
of
this
this
is so
type of
hard to your
development,
other
you're not
people
going to
on
have
there.
anybody come
No
in
idea.
here. So you're not going to have businesses, you're not going to have income, you're
Yeah.
not going to have taxes, you're not going to have this new thing. So this is important. And this, if this is not supported by the city, I see a lot of people who would want to come here and say this is a great city to develop in will say, no, I don't want to do it. Thank you.
Just to add to that too, we have 1, 2, 3, I believe 4 chicken joints that are coming in immediately, which are going to need 30 to plus people, each of them to within the next year and a half, 2 years, we're going to have, more businesses coming in that are already scheduled to start construction and or go through planning. Just again, that employment base is kind of what I'm really looking at. Further discussion.
I'm
We
sorry.
love fucking chicken.
This is the part where Sheriff has made me laugh, because it's like what it boils down to is, okay, look, we've actually got some contracts going. We know we have 4 chicken joints.
We have 4
shit to compete with KFC or whatever, but we have 4 fucking
4
chicken joints. Okay, and I'm assuming they're all different organizations.
I hope so.
And we're gonna need workers for them. And it's like, oh. Okay, so this isn't necessarily about helping the homeless. This is making sure that we have a workforce for the chicken joints.
We need the chicken joint workforce.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the part. That's where Sheriff, for me,
God.
he hit his peak in this.
Yeah, man, we got 4 chicken joints. Fuck yeah.
4. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And
Okay.
Indra will have one more. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know if they're in the vote yet.
Okay.
Eric, and then Indra.
Thank you, Rick, for what you said there. I understand fully what you mean. I just what I'm thinking is maybe this plan is a little aggressive in terms of the density of this of the area. Maybe we need to downsize a little bit. I mean, the parking is a big factor. I mean,
the parking's
how are
an
these
issue.
people going to come and go and not have to rely on public transit?
Pretty easy.
Don't they need cars? I mean, where are they going to park? There's a lot of different factors there.
In the fucking parking lot.
That I think need to be reviewed and looked at prior to, or maybe it gets agreed on, and then it needs to change later on when they see, oh, this is too aggressive, this is too dense. So that's my concern, and I hear your concerns, Rick.
Yeah, it's a horseshit excuse.
And I know that we're here with we've got deadlines, but oftentimes deadlines could be brought or delayed quite a bit or extended.
They already said no. She already said no.
Problem is,
can't do it.
Can't do it.
I think it's too dense. I think it's too much.
No.
So that's my thought process on that.
But get to the okay.
Great.
The best part about that though is he brings up where are they going to use public transportation. Oh Lord Almighty, heaven forbid we actually invest more in our bus system here.
Yeah, or something. Good God.
I don't get how that's like. Okay, we're, as you mentioned, we are a growing community.
Yes.
And as a growing community, one of the things you need in a growing, larger community is public fucking transit.
Yes, which is minuscule here.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we have a bus, but like, come on.
Yeah, it would not be bad to have more buses.
Yeah.
It would not be bad at all.
Nope.
But he brings it up like, yeah, we're never going to do that. So at some point we're going to need to.
You're going to need to.
Thank you for your comments, Eric. I do have to address that because basically we are at where we are with development because of some of the state statutes that have come forth. The planning department and the city does not have the ability to say that this cannot be any denser or any less dense than it has been proposed because of state statutes that are above and beyond us. It comes down from the middle housing code that was put forth, I believe, in 2022, 2023, which was brought to us from the state, brought to most all cities within the state of Oregon, and it does push a lot higher density within these developments, but there's really no we don't have any control to peel that back. So we couldn't really bring this back to the pottery wheel and start redoing it because a developer has the ability to put this density forth
we just
on this
need to
piece
throw
of
it in the
property
kiln
because of the state legislation
So
that's
again,
above us.
We don't have an option here on that.
Yeah.
So I believe it's
Indra?
Oh, Indra?
Yes, I want to make clear that I am not against housing. We do need more
You
housing.
sure didn't seem like it.
I'm not a fan of
It gets better.
a high-density, low-income housing complex run by nonprofits. I think I would feel a lot better if it was a private entity that ran
Who
it.
could charge
and had
whatever they
some
wanted.
capitalism going in there instead of
Capitalism.
nonprofits, grants,
Fuck these people.
state involved. So I'm not against housing. We do need affordable housing. I just feel like we don't need this type of housing.
What the fuck is your fucking argument?
So her problem here, her argument here is that, and granted, I think she's trying to phrase this in a way to make it look appealable. Or sorry, appealing.
Okay.
But her argument here basically boils down to this. This feels like socialism. Socialism is bad. I've been told socialism is bad, and I've told that capitalism is the only form of economic. It's the only economy that is going to solve all of our problems. And the fact that capitalism got us into this problem is beside the point.
We just need to go capitalism harder.
I know. It's basically like saying, look, I know I'm a heroin addict. But heroin's the solution to my heroin addiction.
Listen, I'm your heroin dealer.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that you have an addiction.
Yeah.
No, John, you don't have an addiction. What you need, though, is more heroin.
Do you have more heroin?
I have more heroin.
I'll take more heroin. Thank you. No, this is effectively what this is getting into. And again, a healthy economy is not purely capitalist.
Right.
It's not purely social. A healthy
Sure.
economy is a blend.
Yes.
And we're a blend. And she's saying, okay, look, this problem is caused because we've been not a well-balanced blend for a while. We've been, it's like, obviously it's because we've gone hardcore socialist. We haven't gone hardcore fucking socialist. We've gone hardcore capitalist and then my socialist influences on our economy.
Yeah.
And now that we have a potentially what she considers socialist solution here, or socialist fix to a problem, oh my Lord, we cannot do this. It is going to be against capitalism, and that is against my unholy beliefs.
Yes, and having capitalism in there means that the people can charge whatever rent they want, so therefore it's not going to be low-income housing.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you ready to go into a vote? Looks like we are, so we'll start out with Rob, who made the motion. Rob?
Yes.
Seth?
Yes.
Kathleen?
No.
And Joel?
Yes.
Indra?
No.
And Eric?
No.
Sorry, Eric, can you repeat? I did not hear you.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Victoria?
No.
Okay, and Rick?
Yes.
All right, so we have a tie 4-4. I have not been shy about my opinion on this. I think this development should go through, so taking care of my duty as a tiebreaker, I would break this in a tie to approve this action to go forward, because I truly believe that we need this rental market to increase,
vote.
and I'm looking this,
It is.
just like I said to every single one of you, I'm looking this with 100+ additional employment bodies.
That should not need it.
So motion does pass with my breaking the
he
tie.
wants to be able
Thank
to
you.
employ those 4 chicken
Right.
joints.
Well, yeah, we need to employ those 4 chicken joints, but there's no way that should have been a tiebreaker.
Oh no, that should have been something where it's like, okay, it's 6-2 or something.
Yeah. But here we are fucking again. We almost fell into that same fucking trap that we did with the goddamn homeless encampments shit.
Exactly.
If they would have voted no on that, that guy already said, hey, there might be penalties to this. And oh, by the way, it would probably be significant, like hundreds of thousands of dollars that come from fucking us, the goddamn taxpayer.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
Fuck you guys.
It is absolutely mind-boggling nuts. So on the bright side, though, I am kind of surprised. Victoria just gave a very simple no. Not unequivocally, absolutely.
I will not be voting for this shit.
Yeah, like that
Fuck
one.
off.
God, yeah. So, and guess what?
Good fucking God.
That's the end of it.
Holy shit. That was actually enraging.
Yeah. No, Mr. Morgan?
Yeah.
I figured it would be.
Good God.
So, Mr. Morgan,
yeah.
Do you have any thoughts as we close out?
I think I gave a lot of thoughts, but it will always boggle my mind until the day I fucking die, where these sorts of people will make an argument against something, say how they're for it and that we need shit, but yet we don't need it. And also, to go harder, we need to really just totally deny it, even though we need it.
Yeah.
But we need to go just pedal to the metal with the capitalism shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's
nuts.
And there's, as we mentioned, there's a lot of catch-22. There's a lot of stuff in here where it's like, okay, what you're saying is in literal opposition with what you just said.
Yeah.
The two do not compute.
No.
We need affordable housing. We need to be careful that people's housing as an investment doesn't go down. Those two do not mix. Those are mutually exclusive. So, Christ on a cracker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to our podcast. I apologize for the cutouts, equipment stuff. First time doing video, it's fun. But if you have any suggestions or ideas, please be sure to email them to maltliquorsocialists@gmail.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to support the show, please join our Patreon.
Yes.
You can get all the standard episodes without paying any subscription. You can just be a member to it. But, we also have some extra bonus content once a month. And
Maybe you can get on Discord and play Baldur's Gate 3 with us.
Oh, that would be fun. But also, if you get one of the paid tiers, it's not the lowest paid tier, but like the middle grade or high grade paid tier, you get early access to the episodes. And yeah, that's, I think, pretty much it. Have a happy, well, I hope everybody by the time this is aired has had a happy 4th of July. And I hope everybody, for the love of all that is holy, keep your fucking fingers.
Lisa, I got chicken.
I know who you are. I know who a lot of these people are. They don't even know me. I'd be embarrassed if I were you. The misinformation machine is rapid. It puzzles me.